What if the greatest act of love in your twin flame journey isn't about holding on, but about consciously, courageously letting go? What if that terrifying thought, the one that whispers you don't actually want this divine, fated, maddening connection, isn't a betrayal of your soul's contract, but the very key to unlocking its true purpose? We've been sold a story written in the stars, an epic tale of inevitable union, but we quietly skip over the chapter where the hero decides the promised paradise feels more like a prison of their own making. This isn't about running from a mirror. It's about realizing you no longer need the reflection to know your own worth. That quiet rebellion in your spirit, that gut-wrenching clarity that says this no longer serves me, might just be the most sacred message you'll ever receive. It's the universe inviting you to a far more profound reunion, one that has been waiting in the wings all along. But to hear it, you have to be willing to question everything you thought you knew about destiny itself. Let's get one thing straight, right from the start. That cosmic ache in your chest, the one that whispers you've abandoned your divine assignment every time you even think about walking away. It's lying to you, or rather, it's speaking a language you haven't yet been taught to decipher. The language of an old paradigm where fate was a dictator, not a dance partner. You've been handed a script, a magnificent, heart-wrenching, epic script written in the stars. It promises a love so intense, it shatters you and puts you back together, gleaming and new. And for a while, you play your part flawlessly. You lean into the magnetic pull. You dissect the synchronicities like a divine detective. You endure the emotional hurricanes because you've been told the rainbow at the end is worth it. But then, one day, you find yourself in the third act, exhausted, your soul feeling less like a phoenix and more like a damp match. And a quiet, terrifying yet utterly solid thought forms. I don't want this. Cue the internal sirens, the spiritual guilt, the fear that you've just flunked out of the universe's most important class. What if you're making the biggest mistake of all your lifetimes? What if you're condemning yourself to a gray, mediocre existence, forever haunted by the ghost of what could have been? What if I told you that thought, that defiant, peace-seeking no, isn't a failure, it's your graduation? The twin flame journey is often presented as a symphony with one glorious, pre-composed finale, union. But what if you're not just a musician in this orchestra? What if you're also the conductor? The composer wrote the initial score, the meeting, the spark, the triggering mirrors, to get your attention, to make you pick up your instrument and play with a passion you never knew you possessed. But once you've learned the piece, once you've mastered its difficult passages and understood its emotional depth, the composer smiles, steps back, and hands you the baton. Now, they whisper, you know the language of music, write your own. Choosing not to be with your twin flame, when that choice comes from a place of deep self-honesty and not from a place of fear, is you picking up that baton. It's you deciding that the symphony of your life will be titled My Wholeness and not Our Completion. This isn't a rejection of love. It's the ultimate affirmation of it. You are choosing a love so vast, it includes you as the primary beneficiary. You are loving yourself enough to say, This specific dynamic, beautiful and transformative as it was, is now a frequency that causes me pain, and I choose peace. The universe doesn't punish a soul for choosing coherence over chaos, for choosing wholeness over neediness. It rewards it. It's like applying for a job. You do the interview, the intense connection, you get the offer, the potential for union, but you respectfully decline because the company culture, the current dynamic, isn't a fit for your values, your peace, your sanity, your worth. The recruiter, the universe, doesn't blacklist you. They note your clarity and self-respect, and eventually present an opportunity that aligns with your evolved criteria. This is the mystery so many miss. The purpose of the twin flame is the awakening, not the arrangement. The fire was meant to forge you, not to forever be your home. And once you are forged, once you are stronger, wiser, and more authentically you than ever before, you get to decide where that radiant self chooses to reside. To believe otherwise is to believe the kiln is a better home for the vase than the mantelpiece where it can finally hold flowers. So you walk away. You tend to your own garden, and you might just find that the silence you were so afraid of isn't empty at all. It's fertile ground. And the most incredible part, that connection, that mirror, it doesn't just vanish, it transforms. It stops reflecting your wounds and starts reflecting your worth back at you in the most unexpected ways. But that's a revelation for another moment. So, you did it. You made the choice. You spoke your sovereign no to the chaos. You chose the quiet hum of your own peace over the symphony of shared drama. And for a moment, there is relief. A breathtaking, almost unnerving stillness. But then something else creeps in. It's not the gnawing loneliness you feared. It's stranger than that. It's the peculiar sensation of being watched by a presence that is no longer there. It's the echo of a conversation that ended weeks ago, suddenly finishing itself in your mind with a clarity that steals your breath. You see a meme and your finger twitches to send it, to avoid where their number used to be. You thought you walked away from a person. But darling, you didn't. You walked into the final exam. This is the great mystery they never tell you about in the twin flame brochures. The separation isn't an end to the mirroring. It's the moment the mirror gets upgraded to high definition, surround sound, and implanted directly behind your eyes. When they are physically present, the reflection is obvious, loud, and messy. They interrupt you, they trigger you, they love you in a way that feels like sandpaper on a sunburn. It's abrasive, but you can see the source of the irritation right in front of you. But distance? Distance is a cunning alchemist. It removes the physical distraction, the face, the voice, the frustratingly human habits, and leaves you alone with the pure, unadulterated energy of the connection. And that energy doesn't vanish. It becomes the very air you breathe, the filter through which you see your entire world. The mirror is no longer showing you your jealousy. It's holding up a cosmic magnifying glass to your core, foundational beliefs about what you believe you deserve. Think of it like this. When you're in the room with a powerful radio transmitter, all you hear is static and a dominant signal. It's overwhelming, but when you walk miles away, you can finally tune your receiver to pick up the subtle, beautiful, and complex frequencies that were always there but drowned out by the noise. Your twin flame's absence isn't a void, it's the creation of the precise acoustic space needed for you to hear your own soul's signature frequency. So what does this new mirror show you? It's not about them anymore, it's all you. That sudden, irrational spike of anxiety when you imagine them happy without you. That's not a message from the universe that you've made a mistake. That's the mirror. It's reflecting a deep, hidden belief that your worth is contingent on being chosen, that your joy is a limited resource, and their happiness depletes your own. The guilt you feel for prioritizing your peace, that's the mirror. It's showing you where you still have the old software installed that says selfish talk bad and martyr holy. The relentless mental loops, the imaginary conversations where you're finally heard and understood. The mirror, the mirror, the mirror. It's revealing your profound, unmet need for your own validation. You are quite literally arguing with a ghost, begging a phantom to give you the permission you refuse to grant yourself. This is the uncoupling. Not from them, but from the part of you that still believed wholeness was an external event. The connection becomes a silent, energetic feedback loop. You send out a thought of fear, I've lost my destiny, and the universe, via this invisible cord, sends back a circumstance that makes you feel lost. You send out a vibration of worthiness. I am complete right here. And the universe sends back a quiet, inexplicable moment of bliss while you're just drinking your coffee. They are no longer the trigger. Your own thoughts about them are. And you are forced, absolutely forced, to become the source of everything you sought in that union. It's the most brutal, beautiful, and advanced form of spiritual boot camp there is. You are learning to generate your own light, to be your own validator, to become so utterly whole that the connection transforms from a lifeline into a choice, a truly free, unattached, and sovereign choice. And that's when the most fascinating thing begins to happen. This relentless internal alchemy, this forging of your total self-sufficiency, starts to broadcast a new signal on an entirely different frequency, one that changes everything, but that, as they say, is a story for a soul who's ready to hear it. So here you are, standing in the quiet aftermath of what felt like a cosmic earthquake. You've held the sovereign right to choose your own peace, and you've stared into the profound silence until it began to speak your own truth back to you. You've done the unthinkable. You've walked away from a divine blueprint, and the sky, quite notably, did not fall. In fact, you might notice the light looks a little different now, softer, more yours. This right here is the secret. The destination was never them. It was always you. The reunion that truly matters, the only one that ever truly could, is the one happening silently, gloriously, within the four chambers of your own heart. You thought you were on a pilgrimage to find your missing half, only to discover you were the sacred temple all along, whole and complete, simply waiting for your own recognition. This journey was never a test of your ability to endure a specific love. It was a forge for your capacity to become love itself, unbounded, unconditional, and radically self-referential. That magnetic pull wasn't a chain tethering you to a single soul. It was a homing device, installed by your own higher self, designed to guide you back to your own core when you got lost in the stories, the dramas, the beautiful, heartbreaking fantasies of another. Think of it like this. You signed up for the most advanced masterclass in existence. Your twin flame wasn't the teacher. They were the entire curriculum, the living, breathing, frustratingly perfect syllabus of every lesson your soul needed to learn. And choosing to walk away? That wasn't dropping out. That was you, accepting your diploma with honors. It was the final, grand lesson in self-worth, the ultimate thesis defense where you stood before the universe and declared, I have learned, I have integrated, and now I choose how this energy serves me. The connection doesn't vanish, it transcends. It shifts from a force that happens to you to a power that flows through you. It becomes like sunlight. You don't own it, you don't cling to it, you simply allow it to warm you and help you grow your own garden. And what you plant in that garden, what you choose to nurture from this place of fierce, unshakable self-possession, is entirely and thrillingly up to you. Perhaps from this new vantage point of wholeness, a new form of connection with them becomes possible. One not born of desperate need, but of conscious, sovereign choice. A quiet partnership of two complete universes, chosen to orbit a shared sun. Or perhaps your path now leads you to radiate this hard-won light in a completely different direction, to share this depth of being with your own life, your art, your community, or a love that feels less like a hurricane and more like a sunrise. You are no longer a character in a predetermined myth. You are the myth maker, the author, the artist holding the brush, and your life is the canvas. The colors are yours to choose. The story is yours to tell. And the most beautiful part, the story is only just beginning. It starts with a single, revolutionary breath, inhaled not for anyone else's sake, but purely for your own. It's the breath of someone who has finally, truly come home.